I'm Bleeding Critic. Welcome to Scary Stories UK. The Google Maps killer strikes again. Are you fortunate to have family that will be there for you in your time of need without judgment? Or have you experienced the most pain from people you believed loved you the most? Hurt from family you thought had your back? Have you experienced favouritism when your parents didn't hide their preference towards your older siblings? You were so young at the time, but you knew even then something wasn't right. Favouritism is my least favourite word. Did you experience your parents' divorce when you were young, and the emotional damage that continued for years into your world as an adult? One of you reached out to me. Let's call you Neve. Now, Neve's father was such a disappointment. He deserved a surprise visit from me, but he's in hospital right now. I checked his medical records and they're pumping him full of morphine, so he's almost reached his dead-by date. Neve told me about the moment when she was 11. Her father was driving to his posh apartment at the Barbican in London. He was going to introduce Neve, his youngest daughter, to his new flatmate. Neve didn't realise her dad was about to introduce her to his new woman. She ain't no housemate, Daddy lied. Neve explained at the time she had no idea Dad and Mum were separated. Her dear mum pushed to the curb like garbage. Over 40 years have passed since that first meeting in that London apartment. I had tears in my eyes listening to Neve's experiences throughout her life. If there was a law to punish stepmothers who are experts in manipulation and a law to punish controlling fathers, those two would have been sent down for a long time. Over 40 years ago, divorce was shameful within the Catholic community, Neve said to me. At the time, if her school knew her parents were divorced, she would have been kicked out. So keeping her parents' breakup a secret was a heavy burden on an 11-year-old. Neve's father's other woman, let's call her Helena. She's still breathing and financially secure. Helena, the coffin dodger, favourited Neve's older brother. She even lent him £100,000. Favouritism, that vile word. Neve explained how badly she was treated by her father and how she walked on eggshells around this second wife, Helena. So what's my role in all this? Well, I decided to step in, and for Neve, I wanted to do something special. Helena, the homewrecker, lives in Wanstead, East London, and I know Wanstead very well. But I digged in deeper, researched it even more on Google Maps, in case I need to hide in the shadows. I knew which street lamps weren't working. I knew that antisocial behaviour had the highest crime rate. I observed Helena's lonely routine. I even knew which of her neighbours had dogs. Everything was carefully mapped out on my workboard. I rehearsed my sinister plan so many times and explored every possible scenario. I checked the weather, I checked local roadwork schedules, and even made sure there wasn't any residents moving home the day I go to work on her. It was last Tuesday, the quietest day. Helena's neighbours were out, no pets, and a major storm was going to be raining down on Wanstead. The thunder will drown out Helena's screaming. I'm so moved by Neve's experience, her pain really resonated with me. I had to do something so vicious, so brutal, so disturbing, so if you prefer not to hear about the horror I delivered, maybe it's time for you to move on and watch Gentle Horror Karaoke on the other YouTube channels. What I did to Helena will be tattooed in your memory. You can't delete nasty images from your mind. So if you think you won't be able to stomach what I'm about to share with you, I think now is a good idea we part company. Go on. Slam your finger on that pause button. Off you go. You're still here. I'll tell you what, I'll wait a while so you can have a quiet word with yourself about what you're going to do. Should you stay or should you go? It's your call. You have a few seconds left to decide. 4, 3, 2. I recently punished Neve's father's second wife. Neve's father certainly downgraded to the lowest level with Helena. The catalogue of cold, cuntish behaviour from this homewrecker is appalling. Helena hid under a rock for over 40 years and now she's been found out to be the snake that she is. It all kicked off last Tuesday. Getting into Helena's home was easy. Securing her onto the white granite kitchen worktop was easy. The strong industrial tape you can get these days is amazing. The materials they use are bleeding edge, perfect for my work. The tape was just strong enough to secure Helena's thin body. As the thunderstorm outside was at its peak, I used a bread knife to slice in deep across her stomach. I pulled her thin, fleshy skin flaps back. The bloody scene I created reminded me of those alien movies when the xenomorphs exploded out of stomachs. After slicing the whore open, just like a cockroach, she was still alive as I poured the contents of her kitchen bin into her open, gaping stomach. I forced in one of those reduced sugar baked bean cans deep down into her warm body fluids. I was so careful enough not to cut myself because those open, sharp cans can be lethal. Eggshells, food waste, banana skins and chicken bones, all buried into the homewrecker's dying open body. Neve's father dumped her dear mother like she was garbage. Now karma has circled back to Helena the homewrecker. She is now garbage. Her stomach full of rubbish. I can't be bothered to stretch and pull her skin flaps together and staple gun her stomach closed. I left her as is, lying on that white marble kitchen workspace. After a few days, her smell and the flies will get the attention of her neighbours. As usual, I didn't leave any clues for the forensic team. The best moment for me was just before I left her kitchen. I heard a soft groan coming out of Helena's open mouth. I took a few steps returning to her, and in front of her eyes I showed her a lovely picture of Neve on my phone. I wanted Helena to know who inspired me to do what I did. I'm happy that the horrific pain she experienced last Tuesday was just a fraction of the manipulation and emotional damage she put upon Neve for decades. I am the Google Maps killer, and I enjoy punishing those who seriously fucking deserve it.